Hi everyone, and welcome to number 6 in my series of videos where basically we're giving thanks to those individuals that kept the ukulele alive during the height of the pandemic. Now, so far I've been to Northern Virginia, I've been to California, yesterday I was online to somebody in Texas, and today I'm really happy to introduce you to my friend all the way, I'd say about half an hour south of Boston in New England, and her name is Cindy Miller. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, thanks for taking the time out for doing this.
Well, greetings from the blizzard. We're getting crazy snow here.
Wow. We're getting pretty strong winds, but no snow. So fascinating, though. I was looking on my Facebook feed earlier on today, and it showed me 3 years ago we were white over. So whether it's global warming here or what, I don't know. Anyway, back to the point. I'd like to take you back to March of 2020, and things were getting pretty serious here with COVID, and the government decided the best thing to do really was to lock everything down. Can you think back to that sort of time, how that affected you and your group?
Wow, yeah, that was kind of a big moment for, obviously for everybody. We had just performed with Peter Asher. We opened for him when he was touring here, and we got to play Lady Godiva with him, for better or worse. Um, and so that was actually our last big concert before lockdown came. Up to that point, January through March, we'd been pretty normal. We were doing shows, we did a festival, and we had our night with Peter, and then all of a sudden everything just shut down tight.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah. So it's a shock to the system. I know, personally speaking, all my sort of gigs that were for later in that month and later in the year, I'd say up to about 3 months past that point, were slowly, day by day, all getting cancelled. We all thought that maybe it's sort of a version of the flu, because that's what the sort of banter was that was going around. But of course, it was a lot more serious, and we remained locked down for quite a while. So your group, what's the name of the group?
We're the Unlikely Strummers.
That's a good name, the Unlikely Strummers. Fantastic. I'll provide a link for the group later on. But so how did you keep the Unlikely Strummers going then? Because obviously you couldn't meet face to face.
Wow, yeah, we couldn't meet face to face, so we started doing an open mic night on Zoom. Like everybody else, we tried actually rehearsing together on Zoom, and that was an adventure.
Yeah.
And I think we gave that up pretty quickly, and we went to this great open mic format, which turned out to be such a blessing because not only did we all stay connected, most of us stayed connected, but it really every week gave each individual person who wanted to perform a chance to showcase their talents, what they were working on, music they liked that the group doesn't necessarily play. And everybody kind of took their own direction. And for folks who couldn't necessarily come up with a great idea of what to play on a given week, I always sent out a little challenge.
Okay.
And so they had a challenge topic or theme or whatever to work on if they wanted to, but they didn't have to. And so we got a lot of people really working on their vocal ability, their instrumental ability, experimenting with backing tracks, whatever they wanted. And we'd sit on Zoom for a couple hours together each week and have a lot of fun.
That's great. I mean, like you say, normally with the Zoom, that you have your leader who's playing the song, everybody else is on mute because, of course, everything's slightly out of sync, isn't it, with everybody else? And everybody just plays the tune, and then you'll do another tune, then another tune. I mean, how nice to actually feature all the members within the group individually. And I like the fact that you set challenges for people, because that made them practice and, work towards something and have a goal. And let's face it, when things were in the early stages of the pandemic, a lot of people were scared, and needed some sort of distraction. So I think that was great what you did there. So, Cindy, I think it's absolutely remarkable what you've managed to achieve. It's real credit to you.
Well, Peter, it's not just me. It's the whole group. They're just a fabulous bunch of people. And why don't I introduce you to a few of them so that you can chat with them too?
Fantastic. Let's do it. Hi, so we've got another member of the Unlikely Strummers. This is a very good friend of mine and friend of Cindy's. It's Deb Sorgman. Hello, Deb.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
I'm very good. I believe you're kind of snowed under at the minute.
We're very snowed under. Yes, I cannot get out to my street, but it's winter in New England.
Absolutely. Well, listen, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to me today. I really appreciate it. I've been talking to Cindy about the things that the group's been involved with. And the one thing she wanted you to tell, your side of the story, is the toilet paper sessions. What on earth is that about?
The toilet paper brigade.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a lot. That was a lot of fun. It was, we started pretty early during the whole pandemic lockdown. And we decided that, we couldn't get together in person with the whole band, but we still wanted to keep in touch with people in the band. So we thought, well, we'll just show up at different members' homes. And of course, we were socially distanced. We were outside, and they would either come out on their porch or come to their door or something, and we would just sing a song and play our uke with them. And for some reason, I have no idea how this happened, but for some reason, my daughter had left a roll of toilet paper in my car. And so we're like, oh, this works. So we would take the music stand and, put the thing up on the music stand and set the toilet paper on there. And we called ourselves the Toilet Paper Brigade. And we went around to as many members of the band as we could over a few week period, and would just show up and sing a song either to or with them with our ukuleles.
And I guess nothing else was happening. Everybody was locked down. So I guess all the neighbors was kind of peering through the curtains. What on earth is going on here?
That's not all that unusual for us.
Grateful. Deb, thank you very much for telling me this part of the story. It's wonderful to hear.
Good. Thanks, Peter.
Okay, we're very fortunate, as well as speaking to Cindy, we have two other people from the Unlikely Strummers. Please welcome. We have Amy and we have Barbara. So welcome both. And I'd like you to tell me about some of the things that you were involved with. If I can go to Amy first, one of those things was you've been uked, is that right?
Yes. It sounds like a naughty thing, doesn't it? Yeah, we've been offering this for a while for special holidays, and last year we started offering it, I think 2 years ago we started offering it for Valentine's Day, so people can contact the band and we do surprise serenades for their sweethearts or loved ones, and we show up at houses, we show up at restaurants, we've shown up in stores. We just pop in and we sing to the people. It's 2 or 3 songs usually. Last year for Valentine's Day, and we're going to do it this year also. It was really nice. We were able to do all outdoors, so we would serenade people standing on their porches or in their yard, and it was really touching. There were a couple times where like the husband or had us come for his wife, and then we would play a song that to me it's just one of the songs that we play. I didn't put much thought into it, but then you find out it's their song, and then one of them's crying and I'm trying to sing and not cry, and it was really very lovely, and everyone is so excited when we show up. And I don't know, it was a little strange at first, just singing at people because they're just standing there and they don't know how to react.
Yeah.
But then you feel so good when they are so happy and you've really made their day, and it's a fun little surprise.
Absolutely, especially like you say, the surprise of it. If somebody's done it and arranged it and everything. How did people actually arrange it then?
They contact Cindy through email or through our website, Facebook.
Right. And then
we set up like a string of places if they're all near each other. And then we show up and just drive from place to place and pop out, sing our songs, get back in the car, drive somewhere else, get out, sing. I think it's a little disconcerting to be ambushed by all these ukulele players coming at you.
Yeah. I guess the whole neighborhood opened the doors. What's going on? You know.
Oh yeah, we do. We had animals at the windows watching us, and we have other people coming out to the streets to watch.
Fantastic. And like you say, it's so nice to be able to do it. And of course, if you get the emotion from the person who you're gifting, it kind of comes back to you, doesn't it? Sort of thing. Yeah. So I fully get that. So such a nice thing to do. Thanks very much for explaining that.
My pleasure.
Now, Barbara, I'd like to talk to you about another thing that the group was doing called Moving On Right Along. Where did that come from?
Oh, well, that came from a childhood friend of mine sent me a video with Kermit the Frog, and he was singing this song. So I sent it out to other strummers because it was so much fun. So when Cindy saw it, she grabbed onto that and she said, well, we can move right along. And it just started a string of people writing their own verses, sometimes singing the Muppet verses, dressed up in costumes, going out on a lake, in a canoe, kayak, just everywhere we went, we would start to draw a crowd, because here we are out in the middle of the pandemic or out in the middle of the snowstorm, and we're doing this thing with all these people in costumes and dancing, and it was just wonderful fun. It got us all through that time period from Christmas right up until we started doing food trucks. But moving right along was a lot of fun. The one particular one that I was in a group, and we had alpacas actually come and go through the video. If you go on our website, you can see all the videos, they're listed. And it was a wonderful experience.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you both very much for agreeing to be interviewed. I think you've made people's lives a much better place during such difficult times. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Right, so I'm delighted to have some more members of the Unlikely Strummers. Thanks to everybody for doing this. I'd like to introduce Laurie and Tracy. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you, Peter?
Yeah, absolutely fine. I believe at the moment you're having a bit of a blizzard. Is that right?
Just a bit. We have a few feet of snow out there already.
Wow. Well, nothing like that in the UK, thank goodness. So, so we're okay.
Good.
So what I'm doing basically is asking members of the Unlikely Strummers about some of the events that you participated in. I'd like to ask you one on the holiday season. And I believe you did something called 12 Days of Christmas. Is that right?
Yes, we did. Cindy started us out with on the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a partridge in a pear tree. And then the following day, somebody else was added, and so on every day for 12 days. So the group got bigger and bigger as the song went on. And at the end, we did a grand finale on the 12th day of Christmas. And it was a great way to connect with everybody.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Now we also have Tracy. Hello, Tracy.
Hi, Peter. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. There are many things that the Unlikely Strummers have been doing over the last 18 months to 2 years. And I'm fascinated by one that somebody's tipped me off about. I don't really get the connection, so you could probably explain it better than me. What is the connection between ukuleles and food trucks?
Oh, it's so much fun. And the connection is that it got us outside. A lot of us work. And so Cindy came up with the idea. I think it was somewhat selfishly motivated so that we could all have great food, listen to great music, and be together, still playing the ukulele outside. So we were safe during the pandemic. and we got to hang out. And what she would do is she would do research. Her and her friend Deb, who's also in the group, Deb Sorghum, she and Cindy would go and try out different food trucks. And then when they found one that they really liked, they would invite us to join, and they came up with a certificate, an award. And so they gave that award to the food truck, and they were delighted because it was publicity for them and their food truck. So we're
Sure.
kind of giving back to the local community. A lot of these folks, you know, they're struggling through the pandemic.
Mhm.
And so this was a way of also bringing attention to these particular venues and vendors. And
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
were able to just play a food truck song that Cindy had come up with that was for that particular food truck. So the line would, the tune went to "Ah, sugar, ah, yummy, yummy," but she would put lyrics related to that particular food truck and the
Wow.
food that they serve. And so we'd video that, and then we would post it on our Facebook pages and social media. And the food truck got a lot of attention from that, and they would post it on their social media sites
Sure,
as well.
sure.
Yeah.
What a great idea. It's like a real community spirit, everybody helping each other out, from the vendors to the public, you all playing music, meeting people safely outside.
Yeah.
And it's a
Yeah.
win-win, isn't it? You know, so
It really is. It really is. And it was a great way for us to just hang out together. And we got delicious food, just the best food.
bonus.
So,
Well, listen, to both Laurie and Tracy, part of the Unlikely Strummers, thank you very much for taking your time out today for doing this. Stay in the warm, and hopefully I'll get to meet you either later this year or next year. Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you very
Thanks so
much,
much,
Peter,
Peter.
for having us.
yeah. Take
You're
care.
welcome. Now, it's hard to believe that you actually managed to do something else with everything else you've mentioned to date. And that is to do with the Ukulele Battle of the Bands. Now, I know pre-COVID, you were quite successful with that. And I believe you were going to be hosting it when COVID hit. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, the year pre-pandemic was great for us. We were so fortunate. We'd had Kimo Hussey and Tom Rush as celebrity judges, and we won the New England Battle of the Ukulele Bands. Yeah, it was a good year, and so we were going to host the following year as as the previous year's winners, and we had everything all set up. I recruited some great celebrity judges. John Davidson, big 1960s 70s singer actor, was going to be among them, and Bill Staines, who's a folk singer, and Amy Gallatin, who's a Western swing artist, and Gerald Ross,
Gerald, my good friend. Yes.
Gerald Ross, yeah. And so all these folks had graciously said that they would help support this and be our judges, and we'd gotten a fabulous venue, and then COVID. And so we postponed twice.
No.
We thought, well, maybe by June, in the summertime, things will be better. And they weren't. So we postponed to the fall. And it got to be very clear that it just was not going to happen in person. And so we all scurried and regrouped and decided to do this online as an online auction to benefit the Ukulele Kids Club, because the whole event has always been a benefit for them. And in the year that we competed, we had raised over $12,000. So it kind of was like, wow, we're going to go from $12,000 to nothing because we can't do this.
Yeah.
So we got this auction together, and we were so fortunate. We got ukuleles signed by some fabulous celebrities. Taylor Swift signed one for us. Cyndi Lauper signed one for us. James Taylor, Debbie Harry of Blondie, Jake signed one for us, and then we had all kinds of other musical and ukulele swag that was donated, and we put it all online and did a big online auction, and again raised over $12,000 for the Ukulele Kids Club.
You did it. You matched it, and if not beat it. That's incredible. Without having the competition. Wow.
Yeah, and it was really exciting for us because it was all happening in live time, and I'm sitting here at home monitoring these auctions, going, "Oh my gosh, look at what that ukulele is going for!" It was really pretty exciting. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And and besides that, we've been able to, once it got warm again, we've been able to continue rehearsing outside and all that. So we've had a great time of it, actually. We've been very fortunate.
Fantastic. Really, really good. So you've managed to do all these things, kept very busy. You've played it safe because you've been outside and even wearing masks outside. Now things are beginning to get a little bit safer. What sort of advice would you give to any other group leaders?
Wow, these are such complicated times, and everybody is making these judgment calls and remaking judgment calls, and none of it's easy. But we've been very comfortable playing outside, and for this entire year, pretty much, we've had, since it warmed up, a regular performance schedule. We've been doing weekly, farmers markets or concerts outdoors in gazebos. We've played 2 festivals in the last 6 months, and being able to perform outdoors keeps the music going and keeps everybody together. And I swear by this. I really do. We're back rehearsing indoors, masked and with a bit of distance, because we need to work on music, and it's not warm enough to practice outside yet. But but we did a full slate of 2-3 times a week holiday performances all through December, and it's a great morale booster. And I think if folks have the opportunity and feel okay with performing outside, it's just such a spirit lifter.
Okay, so any group leaders watching this, take that advice, wrap up warm and go play outside rather than not playing at all. Cindy, this has been absolutely marvelous. I'd like to thank yourself, but also the other people from the Unlikely Strummers. It's been very inspirational. I still can't believe everything you've managed to achieve in such a short period of time. But thank you from me on behalf of the people viewing this. It really has been inspirational, and I wish you good luck in the future. If people want to get hold of you on YouTube, what would they dial in on a search bar?
Oh my goodness. I think if you just search for The Unlikely Strummers, you can find us on YouTube. We've put a few things up there. I'm not super active on YouTube, but you can find us on Facebook.
Okay.
We're really active on Facebook, and our website is unlikelystrummers.weebly.com. And you can find us there too, and a little bit more about our community projects and things like that. We're actually starting a new community project.
Wow.
It's called Going to the Dogs, and we're going to do animal rescue and shelter benefits next. So that'll be coming.
There's no holding you back. I think we're going to make another whole new video just on that. But for now,
it's a short life, Peter.
For now, thank you so much indeed. And let me say that magical Hawaiian word, aloha.
Aloha.